Imagine this. You're at home, maybe just relaxing on the couch or scrolling on your phone, and suddenly your doorbell camera feed goes dark. Or it tilts weird, showing the ground. You rewind, and there it is. A police officer walking up to your porch, maybe covering the lens or twisting the camera off the wall. Your first thought? Wait, can they even do that? Well, if you live in North Carolina, there's real case law that tells us what the answer is, and it's not as murky as you might think. Hi, I'm criminal defense attorney J. Scott Smith, and I've been practicing law in North Carolina for over 17 years. In this video, we're going to talk about what to do if police mess with your security cameras. Is that legal? Also, how to protect your privacy and security, and what to do if police won't leave your door. Let's get into it. So why would a cop even be at your door in the first place? Most of the time, it's what lawyers call a knock and talk. That's when police come to your home without a warrant, hoping that you'll open the door and maybe say something incriminating, or let them see something that gives them probable cause. But here's the thing, they don't have some magical right to your property. They're treated like any other visitor. Your porch, your driveway, your steps, legally, that's all part of your home's curtilage. And in North Carolina, courts treat that almost the same as the inside of your home. Which means during a knock and talk, officers can't just wander your yard, peek through your windows, or touch your property. Imagine a stranger or even a delivery driver doing that. You'd call the police on them, right? Well, legally, your front porch gets that same protection. Let me give you some real-life examples so this isn't just theory. State v. Huddy in 2017 is a perfect case for this. An officer saw a car in a long driveway, 150 yards from the road to be exact. Instead of just walking up to the front door, he drove down the driveway, walked around the house, went through a fenced backyard, and approached a back storm door, all without a warrant. He eventually smelled marijuana and got a search warrant, but the court said that the way he got there, the wandering and the snooping, that was unconstitutional. The knock and talk just didn't cover that kind of behavior. Then there's State v. Grice from 2015. Detectives got a tip that someone was growing marijuana. They walked up the driveway, they knocked on the side door, and while one officer was knocking, another saw potted marijuana plants in plain view on the property. That was allowed, but only because the officer stayed where a visitor could reasonably be. They didn't start walking around the yard, going through fences, or touching anything. And State v. Ellis from 2019 reinforces this same thing too. If police abandon the front door and start snooping around the sides or the backyard, that's all outside the scope of a knock and talk, and it requires a warrant. The lesson. In North Carolina, knock and talk gives officers a very narrow license to approach. It does not give them a free pass to roam, snoop, or mess with your property. Now, let's talk about cameras. Imagine a cop covers your doorbell cam, or unplugs it, or even worse, takes it down completely. A United States Supreme Court case, Florida v. Jardines, says that a police officer has no more rights at your door than a normal visitor. Would a neighbor or a UPS driver reach over and mess with your camera? Of course not. So if an officer does that, they're stepping way over the line. And in United States v. Jacobson, the court said the government seizes property when it intentionally interferes with it. Covering a lens, unplugging a device, moving it, all that counts. So when you put that together with North Carolina cases like Huddy, Grice, and Ellis, it's pretty clear. Touching your camera is not allowed, and it's not just a technical violation, it's a real invasion of your privacy. So what do you do if this happens? If you see an officer messing with your camera, don't open the door. If they have a warrant, they'd already announce it. Save your footage. That video could be crucial. Record from inside if you can, quietly. Don't escalate. If you speak at all, stay behind the door. Say something simple and firm. I do not wish to speak. Please leave my property. In North Carolina, that's all you need. You're essentially revoking any implied consent for them to be there. Sometimes officers will try to pressure you. We already have probable cause. You have to talk. Ignore it. If they really had probable cause, you'd already be in handcuffs. If they had a warrant, they'd be inside. Your answer? Calmly say, I'm not answering questions. Then stop. Silence is your shield. Even if they try to be charming or even intimidating, don't give them anything they can use. But what if they show up at 2 a.m, pounding on your door, yelling? That's not a knock and talk anymore. That's coercion. You might think, well, maybe I should open the door to see what's happening. Don't. Stay inside, behind the door, and clearly say, I'm invoking my right to remain silent. I want my attorney. I do not consent to a search. Even if they keep pounding or yelling, remember, courts have consistently said that your curtilage is protected and aggressive tactics don't magically erase your Fourth Amendment rights. Keep documenting everything that's happening. Every word the officer says, every pound on the door, that can matter later. Also, some other tips. Keep your porch light on if you can. It's easier to capture clearer footage and it shows that you're aware of your surroundings. Also, make sure your camera is securely mounted and has a cloud backup. That way, even if someone tries to interfere, you've got the evidence. Write down the officer's name if it's visible and note the time and the date of the incident. Here's the takeaway. North Carolina courts have rejected knock and talks that turn into searches of your curtilage. That means police cannot treat your porch, your yard, or cameras like public space. Interfering with that camera, that's crossing a constitutional line. Remember, your rights don't just disappear because somebody's got a badge. Protect your property, protect your footage, and know the law's on your side. If you like what you've seen in this video, give it a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Share this video with your family and your friends so they know what to do if they face a situation like this. Knowing your rights is key here. And speaking of cameras and filming, check out my next video, 5 tricks police use to stop you from filming. I'll see you over there. And remember, arrested doesn't mean guilty.